Welcome. I am so excited to have you join our nursing faculty team. I am Tricia Butler. I am one of the professors here at the School of Nursing, and I will be serving as your mentor. My first and most critical job as your mentor is getting you integrated into the core of our academic mission. That's our program and curriculum development and evaluation process. It is the engine of our school. We have an accreditation visit coming in just 6 months, so your participation in this process starting now is vital. Today, in the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to give you a full overview of the entire curriculum life cycle, development, assessment, evaluation, and of course, continuous revision. This isn't just administration's job, it's a collective responsibility of the entire faculty. Let's start with your role. So, what is the nurse educator's role in curriculum? Your role as a nurse educator in this process is multifaceted. You are not just a content expert who teaches. You are an essential architect in the entire program. Starting with curriculum design. You participate in mapping program and course objectives to professional standards and accreditation criteria. Delivery and implementation. You bring the curriculum to life in the classroom and in the clinical setting, ensuring fidelity to the plan. Assessment and evaluation. You are the first line of defense in assessing student learning and providing feedback for course level improvements. This involves grading, but also analyzing aggregate data. And then we've got continuous revision or continuous quality improvement. You bring your expertise from the trenches. What's working? What needs updating based on new evidence? And what's necessary to meet the evolving needs of the healthcare system? You are the expert, and your voice is critical in ensuring our program remains relevant and rigorous. Next up, we'll discuss program and curriculum development. Let's walk through how a program is developed from a clean slate. Starting with, does theory play a role in this? Absolutely. Theory is the philosophical foundation. For our nursing program, we just don't use one grand nursing theory, but we establish a clear conceptual framework. This framework guides the entire curriculum, often integrating concepts like holistic care, evidence-based practice, and cultural humility. For instance, our program may explicitly adopt a caring theory model, which would then influence how every single course is taught and what clinical skills we prioritize. It provides coherence and a shared language for all the faculty. So, what do we use as the basis of the program? The basis of the program is a triangulation of mandatory external requirements, like regulatory bodies, our state board of nursing requirements for licensures. This is non-negotiable. We look at professional standards, documents from the American Association of Colleges of Nursing, AACN, like the Essentials, which define the core competencies for professional nursing education. That third part of that triangulation is accreditation standards, the criteria that is set by our accrediting body, the CCNE. We build our program's terminal objective, what the graduate should be able to do, directly from these three pillars. So how are courses chosen and developed? Once the terminal objectives are set, we reverse engineer the program. Course selection is done by mapping content to ensure all professional competencies are indeed met. We organize the content logically, from foundational sciences to complex clinical synthesis. Course development is where we write clear, measurable course outcomes that align directly with the program objectives. For example, if a program objective is provide safe, patient-centered care, a course might be apply principles of sterile technique in a simulated environment. Next, we'll go over how is the course curriculum determined. The course curriculum is the detailed plan. It's the blueprint for teaching and learning. It's determined by course outcomes. Everything must directly serve the outcome. Content selection, choosing the best evidence, content, and materials. Instructional strategies, selecting appropriate teaching methods, whether it be lecture, simulation, case studies to meet diverse learning needs. And of course, evaluation methods, creating valid and reliable assignments and exams to measure student achievement of these outcomes. This stage is all about alignment, ensuring the content, the teaching method, and assessment all speak to the same clearly defined learning outcome. Next up, we'll review program and curriculum assessment and evaluation. The curriculum isn't static. We must consistently check if it's working. This brings us to assessment and evaluation. So how are course outcomes evaluated? This happens primarily at the faculty and student level. We evaluate course outcomes through two types of assessment. That first one is formative assessment. This is ongoing, low stakes feedback like quizzes, in class discussion, practice clinical skills checks. It's designed to improve student learning while it's happening. The second type of assessment is summative assessment. These are high stakes measures at the end of a unit or course, like midterms, final exams, capstone projects, and the final clinical performance grade. Crucially, as faculty, you just don't assign a grade. You review the aggregate data. For example, the average score of the acid-base balance section of the final exam. If 70% of students fail that section, it tells us the curriculum, not just the student, needs examination. Next, we'll dive into what is the program assessment and evaluation process. Is there a systematic program evaluation plan? Yes, we have a systematic program evaluation plan. This is a mandatory written plan required by our accreditors. It's cyclical, usually annual, and looks at the program as an entire whole. This systemic program evaluation plan tracks key performance indicators, which fall into two main categories. The first one is process indicators, things like faculty to student ratio, the budget, and resource availability. That second performance indicator is outcome indicators, the big ones. Our NCLEX RN first time pass rates. What are our graduation rates? What are our job placement rates? And employee alumni satisfaction survey results. Faculty meetings are where we review these findings, compare them to benchmarks, and determine if the program is meeting its goals. Then, how do we determine whether the program is effective and provides the intended outcomes? We look for consistent evidence across all the key performance indicators. A program is effective when NCLEX scores consistently meet or exceed the national average. This is the most common indicator of core competence. A high percentage of graduates securing nursing positions within 6 months of graduation is another one of our key performance indicators. Alumni and employers report that our graduates possess the core competencies defined in our program outcomes. If data shows a dip in any of these areas, it is a red flag that triggers the final step, continuous quality improvement. This brings us to program continuous quality improvement. Continuous quality improvement, known as CQI, is a mindset, not just a procedure. It means the curriculum is never truly finished. This leads us to what is the process for revising a program or curriculum? We use a cyclical evidence-based approach, often modeled on the plan, do, check, act cycle, also known as PDCA cycle framework. Starting with plan, where we identify the need. Data from the systematic program evaluation plan, for example, low pass rates in a specific course, or maybe a new AACN mandate, identifies a deficiency. Then the second stage of that cycle framework is do. Implement the change. A faculty committee develops a proposed revision, maybe integrating more simulation hours or revising a course objective. Then we get to the third part of the cycle framework, the check, where we assess the impact. The change is implemented for maybe a semester or a year, and then we collect new data. Did the revision fix the problem? Then to our fourth stage of this cycle is act, where we standardize or we repeat. If the revision was effective, it's standardized across our program. If not, the cycle repeats. As a new faculty member, you will be asked to serve on curriculum committees where these revisions are debated and enacted. And what factors do we consider when making decisions on revisions? Revisions are never made lightly. We consider four main factors. First one, data. Evidence is paramount. We look at student performance data, accreditation findings, and feedback from our clinical partners. And the second factor, external mandates. Maybe a change in the State Board of Nursing rules, maybe a major update to the AACN, the Essentials, or a new accreditation standard automatically requires a revision. That third main factor, emerging healthcare needs. For example, the increasing complexity of chronic care or new technologies like AI in healthcare requires us to integrate new content into the curriculum to ensure our graduates are prepared. And that fourth main factor, resource availability. Can we afford to add a new course? Do we have enough qualified faculty and clinical sites to support a change in our clinical hours? Revisions must be feasible. Finally, let's recap what we've went over so far and discuss what those next steps are. To summarize, so next step, committee assignments. The curriculum life cycle is a continuous loop of development, assessment, evaluation, and revision or continuous quality improvement. Your job as a faculty member is to be an active participant in all four phases of the curriculum life cycle. You bring your expertise to the design, your diligence to the assessment, and your voice to the revision. The 6-month countdown to our accreditation visit means we need you involved now. Your first task will be to review our full systematic program evaluation plan, which I will share with you shortly. We will also be assigning you to one of the curriculum or evaluation subcommittees next week. So next up will be that committee or subcommittee assignment. As your mentor, I know that this is a lot of information for your first few weeks, and starting a new role is always a challenge. Please know that we are all genuinely excited to have you here. We value your unique perspective and expertise as a clinician, and we are committed to helping you succeed in this new faculty role. Know that you are not alone in this. We are here to support you every step of the way. Welcome aboard.